This is Stacey McKibben with the Master Communicator podcast, where CEOs, senior leaders, and C-suite executives share their advice. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best leaders know how to share their ideas concisely and quickly. Let's jump right in. Question number 1. In a few sentences, tell me who you are and what you do.
Hi, Stacey. My name's Doug Jones. I graduated from college in '71. Since this is the 71st podcast, that's important. Went into the Navy, flew in Vietnam, and came back, got an MBA. Thought I wanted to be in accounting and not to have to talk to people. And then I discovered I loved sales. So I've been either a salesman or a leader of salespeople or a company owner of salespeople ever since.
Well, I love it. You got so much breadth of experience that you're going to be able to bring to this conversation today. So I'm especially excited to hear some of your thoughts. And I know you hear this, but thank you sincerely for your service. It means a lot. Question 2, what's the best thing about leading people from your perspective?
To me, the best part is I work with strictly 1099 salespeople, originally in the mortgage industry, and then 2008 happened, so in the insurance industry since then. But because it's a volunteer army, and some people are motivated and some aren't, what I love most is when I can help somebody get to the point where they have that aha experience and they realize they can do this and that they can make a living and make a life for themselves with this craft of sales. So I think it's the teaching part that I like the best, and seeing that succeed in people. That's
amazing. I know I love kind of getting a chance to see who people become in that journey. Do you find that you yourself also grow as you help somebody else to grow and develop?
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes you have to reach deep to figure out what's going to be the key for them, and that causes you to rethink everything.
Exactly. It could make you go all the way back to the beginning.
Especially in times like this, with the pandemic, we've got to rethink everything. Fortunately, in the last 6 years, I've been helping start up the first ever completely virtual marketing organization, life insurance. And so we've been at this actually for 8 years. The rest of the industry has been at it for 8 weeks. So we have a little bit of a head start there.
A little bit. I like that. That's great. All right. Question number 3 for you. I often hear from other leaders that business would be great if it weren't for that pesky people part. I'm curious, what are your thoughts about that?
I think the people are what makes business great. Without people, we wouldn't have customers, we wouldn't have teammates. So I like the people. It's a question of getting the right people on the bus, as Jim Collins said in his brilliant book. So but if you have the right people on the bus, the people are great.
So as long as they're in the right seats too, right? Isn't
Yes.
that part of what he says as well?
That's part of leadership, I think, is to find the right fit for talented people. And if you got somebody who's a talented person, then you find it, you make a fit for them. One of the most influential books I ever read was Extreme Ownership by the 2 Navy SEAL officers who fought the Battle of Ramadi. And in it, they said that the leader is responsible for everything. So if anything's going wrong in your unit, it's because either you weren't doing something right or somebody that you should have taught better wasn't doing something right. So I think that the leader is responsible.
Someone you should have taught better. I like that. Again, that extreme ownership, that resonates a lot with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, or maybe move that person into a different position where they would have thrived rather than failed.
Exactly, to be more successful. Right. All right, question number 4 for you. What piece of advice about communication would you give to other leaders?
I thought about that one a lot when I saw your questions. And I think that the most important thing is making it okay for people to honestly answer questions, asking questions, but making it okay for them to give you honest answers. I think a lot of people are intimidated to give the boss or the leader or whatever honest answers if they think it's the wrong answer. So there can't be any wrong answer if you're going to have clear communications. So I think that making it okay for them to give you the honest answers, and then listening, obviously. Listening is the key skill in any leadership position.
I appreciate that. Doug, do you know in 71 episodes, that's the first time I've gotten that response.
I lead a volunteer army. They don't have to stay because I pay them. They pay themselves.
And maybe we should all look at our team that way, right? That's an interesting perspective. All right, question 5 for you. What other successful business leaders like yourself should be on the podcast? And again, what I'm looking for here is who are the other Doug Jones out there that we should be paying attention to?
I think in our company, Mike Hinsbark would be a great interview because Mike is actually, he went to San Diego State and he had got a degree in IT, but then he got into one of the largest marketing organizations in life insurance after, valeting cars at the Hotel Del when he was age 22. And he built a gigantic organization, then left it because of the fact that they weren't adopting technology. And he and 5 other guys back in 2012 were the ones who convinced the insurance industry that they should be able to take applications at a distance, not have to be knee to knee. Got an interesting perspective because financial services is the largest industry in the world now. Oil used to be, but went down a little bit. But it's the largest industry in the world, and it's the most dinosaur industry in terms of technology. And so Mike is a pioneer in that. He'd be a good interview.
That's great.
About him in the California Journal, Business Journal or something like that. I can send to you if you'd like.
Fantastic. Yes, we'd certainly love that. And we'd put it here with the show as well so that other people could resource that. All right, magic question number 6 for you. Tell us about your favorite boss, teacher, or coach. Who's really influenced you?
If it has to be a human being, it's definitely Art Laffer. When I got back from Vietnam, I got my MBA and I was doing it in entrepreneurship, but I was fortunate to be there at the same time Art was there. And he, of course, wrote Reagan's tax cut bill. He's the father of supply side economics. He's a fascinating guy, and it was brilliantly wonderful to be part of his classroom experience there at USC. But where I've actually learned the most, I would say, in life is playing rugby for 20 years. Just the team element, supporting each other, holding people accountable. Again, a volunteer army. And, besides it kept me young, my wife, when I was 28, said I was getting too serious. I had to go play rugby again. So I played till I was 42.
Oh my goodness. So that speaks volumes too about the sport and, your ability to be able to play, that long.
Right. And I'm not paying too heavy a price for it today. I'm still healthy.
Exactly. I was just introduced to the sport here recently, and I was interested in actually sharing it with my sons.
Yeah, the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club team is one of the best in the country, so you can take them down and watch some of those games.
That's hilarious. I went to a game here recently with a gentleman that everyone refers to the industry as Chief. So it was kind of fun to sit with somebody that knows the game inside and out and, kind of see it through that lens. Well, Doug, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And, I just really appreciate your perspective and the wisdom and the way with which you deliver your ideas. How can people find you if they want to reach out and learn more or just introduce themselves?
Probably the easiest way is LinkedIn. If you just go to linkedin.com/in/Doug C. Jones, you'll find me. Just be sure to put the C in between the Doug and the Jones.
Very good. Well, we will certainly do that and make sure that folks can find you. You'll find the link attached to the show as well. And in the meantime, this is Stacey McKibben with the Master Communicator podcast. For more ideas and insights, please do go check us out at www.concilioteam.com. And we look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.
Bye.